Hi everyone, welcome back to the Node.js series. And in last video, we learned about the various kind of the modules. Okay, what is a module and how many type of the modules in Node.js. So we in this video we are going to discuss a very good concept that is a dynamic importing, right? So generally this concept come under the ES module, not in the old JavaScript module. Okay, so I'm going to explain this in this video, and this will be more theoretical portion, but I believe that you will get a clear idea about the dynamic import. Okay, so what is a dynamic import, right? So dynamic import allows you to load a module at a runtime, right, instead of loading it when the application starts. Okay, so yeah, I know this definition may be difficult for you, so let's try to understand these things through the example. So as you remember, I did like this. So this is the way actually, right? First, let's discuss this. So this is the way to import a particular modules dynamically, means at a runtime, not when the application start. So let's discuss what is the difference between static import and dynamic import. So in previous video, I created one ES module, right? That was the static import. So if you remember, I have created one add function in a math dot in a file, right? It is not required only the math dot file. You can give name whatever you want. So I have created one method and I have export that method, right? So this is the way of static import. It means when your application will start, this math.js will be load, entire file will be load, and currently we are taking only the add functions, but it can contain thousands of functions, right? Thousands line of codes, right? It can be used library, right? So what is a static import? Loaded when the file start executions, suitable for module required throughout the applications. What is it saying? Like, you need always to static import for those modules who is really required for your entire applications, like express.js, right? So this is all about the static import. If we discuss about the dynamic import, so what is a dynamic import? You can add a await before the import, right? So this is the way, const math await import. So this math.js module will not load when the application start. Even it will be load when you will use this math function, math module, right? So load on a demand, right? It will not load on a first step, it will be load on demand. Suitable for rarely used or conditionally required modules, right? Yeah. So we will discuss benefits of dynamic import. So first is a lazy loading. Lazy loading means load module only when needed. Means uh, module will be not load on your application start. It will be loaded when it will be required. So when, for example, this is a calculate method. When you will call this calculate method, only this math.js module will be load. Okay. I hope you got it. Because if you initially write here like import math from math.js or add from, so this will load entire modules, right, when your application is start. But in this case, this math.js module will be load only when you call this calculate method, right? This is the one benefit. Second, faster startup time, right? So, as I said, if you use this kind of approach, means dynamic import, means it will give less load on your startup, right? It means your application will start very fast. Second, conditional loading. So, let's say you can check here your development, your node environment, right? if you are if your environment is a development, it means you are trying to implement something, you need to debug. So there is one debug.js file, right, which is used for debugging your code. So you can debug this file, or you can import this file only in your development environment, not any higher environment, right? Okay, this is another advantages of dynamic imported. Second is a load difference implementations. Let's say you are using a two databases in your application. One is a MySQL, second is a MongoDB, right? So you do not need to load both of the library when the application starts. Okay, so it should be loaded only and only when particular DB is MySQL. Like, if you are redirecting two ways, one way went to the MySQL, another way went to the MongoDBs, right? So if you are on the way of MySQL, then MySQL way only visible to you, right? If you are on the way of MongoDBs, only way visible to you, right? Both of the way should not be visible to you when your application is started, because if your requirement only the MySQL, why you are going to load the MongoDB, right? So that's why this is the big advantages of this. Okay, so there is a interoperability, means you can use this under the ES module only, not in the commonjs. Code splitting, yeah, very easy. Here, if you are not, yeah, so I have covered many things inside this. You can run like real nodejs example. So we can take an example. So let's say you have created one JavaScript file which is used to generate the report. That is a report generator.js. Okay, it contains lines of code, because for generating the reports we require a number of things, pulling the data and much more operations. So without dynamic imported, so what you have done, you have loaded this report.generator.js when the application start, means starting importing, and when report endpoint calls, you are generating the report, right? So the module loads during the startup. Okay, while in a dynamic import, what happens when an report API call, only this report generator node.js module will load and it will generate the reports. So this module load only when the endpoint is called. Okay, so this is the real example. And when not used to dynamic import, so for core dependencies like your file system, Express, because these will be the module that will be used across your applications. So you need to install these on your first it's first point, or means it's on a startup, right? So what is a dynamic import? You can see here, dynamic imports loads a module at a runtime instead of application start. You can read all about this. I will add this link, GitHub link, on my YouTube descriptions. I know this was completely theoretical portion, but I believe this was very easy. If you are facing any issue to understand about dynamic import, you can write a comment to me. I will try to create more videos with practical, but it seems to me this is very easy concept. That's why I covered this in a from the GitHub page. So thank you for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe and comment, and click on the notification icon if you like such kind of the video. Thank you.